Yeah, it's time to call bullshit.
Bullshit on what?
Every fucking thing.
So I want to talk about Adam McKay's The Big Short. Okay, so I know I'm a little late, but now that it's won Best Adapted Screenplay, I felt like it was a good time to get my thoughts on it. Some people didn't really like this film, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I've heard that some people were bored to death, like my brother, and others went into it expecting another Wolf of Wall Street, which is also a great film, but I think The Big Short is a film worth more praise than it's been given. So let's get to it. But before I do, let me just preface this by saying that this is my opinion, and that this video is using material from the film, but doing so in a manner that is protected by fair use and is in no way copyright infringement. And I just want to take a second to thank Evan from The Nerd Writer, Tony Zhao from Every Frame Painting, and mostly Adam from Your Movie Sucks, the people who inspired me to start making these videos. Obviously, there will be spoilers. So watch it, it's really good and really funny, which makes sense coming from the guy who co-wrote and directed Anchorman.
How about that?
Okay, so The Big Short is, in a few words, about the housing bubble of 2008 and a group of financial investors who saw it coming and decided to bet against the housing market for profit. Which is a really complicated process, and I think the way that this is presented is part of what makes The Big Short so cool. Since most of us aren't privy to financier lingo, it has to spend as much time explaining as telling a story. But it's presented as an essay film, using experimental techniques to make a statement about society, like using fourth wall breaks and asides with Margot Robbie in a bubble bath describing subprime mortgages, Anthony Bourdain collateral debt obligations, and Selena Gomez synthetic CDOs. And what I love about The Big Short is that Adam McKay decided to use these techniques as a way of making a statement on the overly complicated jargon used by the banks.
Does it make you feel bored or stupid? Well, it's supposed to. Wall Street loves to use confusing terms to make you think only they can do what they do. Or even better, for you just to leave them the fuck alone.
He's using these fourth wall breaks as a way to cut through all the bullshit and just tell you what it really means.
I'm just a big believer in you do what you need to do to tell the story. And with a story that part of the con, part of the scam that the banks ran was that they would use this impenetrable, boring language to describe stuff. So if you can't get past that, you can't understand the scam.
I really love Barry Ackroyd's cinematography. I'm a big fan of the awkward documentary style used in the film. It really gives a sense of realism that this stuff really happened.
The cameras were really in the corner of the room. They were never in, there wasn't like close-ups or, there wasn't coverage at all.
You never knew where the camera
hid the cameras, it was long lenses, they were on a zoom, and so you really were free to play the scene in many different ways. And he would sort of, you'd do it to the script, and then you'd sort of abstract it until it was sort of like coming off the rails, and then he would bring it back in the end. And I'd never worked that way, and I thought that it really kind of brought the best out of all of us.
That's Barry Ackroyd is, amazing at that. He loves the long lens style.
And that's where you get this zoom in and out and all over.
You get that intimacy between the actors. You're not in their way. I love it too. I don't know if I'll ever do anything but that in the future. I liked it so much.
And Hank Corwin's energetic and disorienting editing really helps to show this. What I find interesting is that when Dr. Burry goes to Goldman Sachs to set up his first short, the camera work cleans up. The cine here is symbolic of the seriousness of the bank, but as soon as he specifies his purpose there, we go back to the doc style, because they don't take him seriously. Also, I really appreciate the symbolism in this film. Like when Mark and the Front Point team go to Miami to learn about the residential mortgage business, and Gnarls Barkley's Crazy is playing in the background. Or when Mark and Vinny go to see Georgia at the Standard & Poor's rating agency. They open the scene with her mentioning that she'd had an eye surgery.
Can't see a damn thing. My eye doctor's always busy. I end up taking any appointment they'll give me, and the whole morning gets shot to hell.
So her literal blindness is indicative of the way the ratings agencies turned a blind eye to the fraud the big banks were committing. Similarly, we have the Mr. Chow scene. A laugh track is used to emphasize the absurdity of the whole charade.
We call them synthetic CDOs.
What did you synthetic CDOs?
Synthetic CDOs.
That is fucking crazy.
It's not. It's awesome.
Freeze frame and zoom to emphasize the gravity of the situation, and smash back in with sound effects. Finally, we have this scene.
Once we sell, we'll be just like the rest of them. You know that.
The film is making a statement on us. To quote Dirk Libby from Cinema Blend, The Big Short isn't a comedy, it isn't a drama, it's a fucking horror movie. This is a true story, and not one that happened 200 years ago in some far-off land. This affected all of us.
But it is a shitstorm out here, sweetie. You have no idea the kind of crap people are pulling, and everyone's walking around like they're in a goddamn Enya video. They're all getting screwed, you know. You know what they care about? They care about the ball game. or they care about what actress just went into rehab.
So in short, The Big Short is a mirror, pointing at all of us. I'm Henrik. Thanks.
Now fuck off.